the next. Hope in one hand and hopelessness in the other. Saying, in effect, if you are an alcoholic, you have an obsession that condemns you to drink, an allergy that condemns you to die. Your only resource is a spiritual experience. If, then, the doctors were quoted upon the hopelessness of the situation, the God of medicine would in effect say to each newcomer, our resources will not bring you back to life. In short, and paradoxically, the chances of the alcoholic to recover by the spiritual experience means would be just in proportion to his hopelessness. Yes, the secret would be deflation at depth, using the tools given us by science, the compulsion plus the allergy. Then when one alcoholic carried this message to the next, he could reach the newcomer where he lived, even below consciousness. Then bringing about the deflation, he would create a dependence of the newcomer upon his sponsor, upon a group if there were any, and finally upon God. In some such form, the concept of such a possible chain reaction occurred to me. Leaving the hospital shortly afterward, I joined up with the Oxford groups, and along with Ebby and Roland and 2 or 3 other drunks, we began to work with alcoholics. The result was almost nil. In my case, it was absolutely nil, because at that time I was insisting that everybody have a spiritual experience just like mine. I'm afraid that I was preaching, and I was pontificating. I tried dozens of drunks at Towns Hospital, where Silkworth let me talk to them, and scores more we found in a mission connected with Calvary Church, whose rector was Dr. Sam Shoemaker, whose influence was to be so great upon our destiny. But still nothing much happened. Either the drunks would tap their heads and look the other way, or they might stay sober a matter of weeks or months and then flop dismally. So little by little, I discovered that I had converted my wonderful experience into a foolish rationalization by which I myself had begun to play God. At this juncture, I tried to get back into business. And then came an opportunity to engage in a struggle for a control of a small machine tool company in Akron, Ohio. It was getting chilly out here. Lois, you look as cold as you can be. Why don't we go inside and continue there, and maybe you'd make us a pot of coffee.
Okay, let's go.
I was on the way to Akron in the company with a number of newly found business friends. We expected, as I think I said outside, that we would capture a company. Of course, drunk-like, I expected to be the president. Well, what about to work with alcoholics? Oh, well, I would, do it on the side. So bravely we set out. The proxy fight came off. Our side was handsomely licked. All of them went home, but I stayed in the hotel for the simple reason I didn't have the fare and no one offered to give it to me. So here I was on a Saturday afternoon, alone in the Mayflower Hotel at Akron, Ohio. I walked down to the lobby, strode back and forth. At one end there was a plaque with the names of the various churches and preachers. At the other end of my beat there was a bar room. The bar room was filling up, and so were the people in it. And that buzz, so characteristic to bars, had a pleasant sound to me. Soon I found myself saying, well, perhaps I could go in there and have a drink of ginger ale and possibly scrape an acquaintance to pass away this lonely afternoon. And then I caught myself and thought, well, I have been restored to sanity. I can see I'm in danger. I walked over to the church directory again, thinking, well, now perhaps I had better find an alcoholic that I might talk to. Because at last, I see that I need such a person as much as he could possibly need me. No more of this preaching I had been doing in New York.